Welcome to Frickin' History, and the APUSH scores are out, so let's take a quick look at it. Let's take a look here. As you can see, the 5 start at the top. 14% of you got 5s, 37% got 4s, and 23% got 3s, making that passing total 74%. Not too shabby, and a little bit better than last year. So let's take a look at how they got to those scores. Let's take a quick look at the multiple choice questions first. So there were 554,000 students that took the exam, and on those that took the exam, the average was right around 65% on the multiple choice, and that's the goal that I've always talked about all year, all with my students, etc. You want to get to that, 65, 66, 67%, and that gets you to where you can, really advance your score to get that higher 4 or 5 action. Where did you do well? Unit 1. All right, that's the Spanish coming into the New World. Unit 2, when the English start showing up in the colonies. And then Unit 7, which is like that 1890 to 1945. So that's Spanish-American War, World War I, Great Depression, World War II, etc. That's the ones you did the best on. Where did you do poorly? Unit 4. I've talked to you guys about that. Unit 4 is the Achilles heel of this particular course, and that's at 1800. So starting with Jefferson and going through like 1848. That's there's so much in there that seems benign, but there's a lot of important stuff, and you guys tend to miss it. Also Unit 9, because we have no time to do Unit 9 because we're out of time at the end of the year. Now, as far as the short answer questions, a lot of people struggle between, on the first one, which is the 2 different historians, and this was talking about Reconstruction, and that's a differentiator between those that passed and those that didn't. Those that passed got a 3, 4, or 5, usually did okay on that comparison and answering that question. Question number 3, that was about the Patriot time period, and that you did very well on. 45% of you answered all 3 of those correctly. Great job out there. You also did pretty well on number 4, and that one had to do with the Civil Rights Movement, and that was 27% of people that took that answered all 3 portions of those correctly. Now remember, next year you're not going to get that bad boy, so you guys this year, whew! Now, I'm not going to really go into the DBQ. I'm going to wait a little longer on that because as more information comes out about the scoring, it's easier to talk about that as a whole. But the LEQs we got to talk about. And when I told you that so many of you said I chose the 3rd one, this was about, westward expansion. Woo! I crushed it. No, you didn't. Exactly what I said was going to happen did. And what happened was you guys were talking about westward expansion and manifest destiny and thinking you're crushing it, and you're all out of the time period. The time period was 1865 to 1898. So without even seeing the scoring guidelines, you were going to have to talk about Native Americans and the removal of that. So, Battle of Little Bighorn, the Sand Creek Massacre, things like that, right? Assimilation of the Native Americans in the Dakotas. You're going to have to talk about the railroads and the expansion of the railroads. That was going to help that during that time period. Okay, there are so many areas you could have gone into, but it was the one question that was super struggle for most everybody. But hey, overall, look, man, great scores. Can't argue with those. Super proud of you. And I'm glad you guys were able to really hang with me. For those of you that did most of the year, I really, truly appreciate you. If you know anybody that's going to be taking any of these APs, need help in the class, etc., you let them know I'm out here for them, right? So as soon as AP World comes out, we'll talk about those. And until next time, peace.